whisper video this time because it was requested. So today we're going to be talking about the case of Pamela Butler. Pamela J. Butler was born in 1962 and was a native to Washington, D.C. She was described as an extremely intelligent and hardworking woman who was highly organized in both her professional and personal life. She was very close to her family and loved ones. In 2009, Pamela was 47 years old. She was working at the Environmental Protection Agency as an IT specialist in Washington, D.C. She lived in a 2-story home in Washington, D.C., and she was on top of her home's security, installing several surveillance cameras on the outside. She met Jose Rodriguez Cruz through an online dating site, and the two began dating for 5 months. Things seemed to be going smoothly. The couple had plans to celebrate Valentine's Day on February 12, 2009. Earlier that day, Pamela called her mother to let her know that her and Jose were going out for a romantic dinner. Unfortunately, that dinner never happened, and when Pamela's mother hadn't heard from her daughter the next day, she was concerned. On February 17th, her mother and her brother Derek went over to Pamela's house to check on her, and they found the home was completely torn apart. Pamela was known for her neatness, but the status of her home went far beyond a messy house. In her room, her sheets were missing, but her comforter was on a chair. Folders in her office were strewn about, and the stranger part was her purse and keys were still in the home. Her family reported her missing, and an intensive search began. Security cameras outside of Pamela's home showed that she arrived at her home and let Jose in on February 12, 2009. This time was about 9:48 p.m. when she picked up her mail. He was then seen on the camera 3 separate times. The footage showed him carrying large bags and a bucket of what appeared like cleaning supplies out of the home. When questioned by police, he said that they had broken up on February 13th. However, despite this man carrying sketchy shit out of this place, there wasn't enough hard evidence to arrest Jose at the time. I never get that. Her brother continued advocating and fighting for her case. He goes on to say that during this time, quote, nobody would listen to me. In 2009, a 7 News reporter named Jennifer Dolan covered the case, including interviewing her boyfriend Jose with his identity concealed. He flatly denied he was involved. 7 News was the first media to look at this case. Her brother says, quote, Channel 7 was the first one who actually ran the story. Nobody wanted to cover it until you all did. Once you all covered the story, it just kind of took off. But years passed, position to declare her legally dead. Her brother, Derek, couldn't let things go. He was convinced that Jose had something to do with it, but he couldn't figure out how to prove it. Derek stayed in the face of police and prosecutors. He said, quote, "I was very unpopular with the police, but I wanted to be. I wanted to be a nuisance to the point they would do something about it." He kept pursuing the police department to continue looking at the case, and it worked. In 2017, DC's Metropolitan Police Department hired a special cold case detective, Michael Fulton, to look at the case. He realized that Jose's first wife, Marta Rodriguez, had disappeared in 1989 from Arlington County, Virginia. Prior to her going missing, Marta told police her husband assaulted and kidnapped her, but she disappeared before she could testify against him in court. It seemed like too much of a coincidence that one man could be connected to the mysterious disappearance of two women decades apart. They arrested Jose in 2017 based on this connection, but also due to circumstantial evidence that they did not release to the public. It was discovered that Jose had rigged up an elaborate scheme in which he had another woman in Florida pretending to be his wife who disappeared. When Detective Fulton demanded to see a picture of the woman and compared it to photos of Marta, who had disappeared, they looked nothing alike. They also found witnesses that accounted for his violent behavior. The witness claimed to have seen Jose hold a gun to the head of a woman Jose used to be married to. He also talked of reading a letter written by Jose that had him admitting he was responsible for Marta's disappearance. The authorities heard from another woman who said Jose had bound her and sexually assaulted her at gunpoint in 2004. According to her, he had also threatened, this whole trigger warning, to rape her 3-year-old daughter. He finally admitted to police what happened. He states that they got into an argument regarding him being unemployed. Not shocking. Jose said he punched and then choked her, returning the following morning to disconnect the motion sensor lights. Then, Jose stated that he dumped the body out of the first floor window and put her in his car. He agreed to tell investigators where the body was for a sentence of 12 years in prison, which is not enough time in my opinion. At this point, he led police to the place he buried Pamela's body along Interstate I-95. They were unable to locate her body because it had since been dug up for construction. Her brother says, "He told me that one cadaver dog hit on several spots where Pam's body was supposed to be, and the other cadaver dog didn't hit at all." He believes that Pam's body is out there, but exactly where they don't know. He says, quote, "I don't think we're gonna find her." Jose was not allowed to be at the search site due to a court order barring him from leaving the district. In the same area, police found remains from 1991 that were serving 12 years in prison for the murder of Pamela Butler when it was discovered that he also was responsible for the death of Marta Rodriguez. In 2021, he was sentenced to 40 years in prison for the murder of Marta as well. So for 11 years, Derek Butler refused to give up on his quest to bring his sister's killer to justice for her murder, and then he continued to advocate for Marta Rodriguez, who he never met. In 2021, her brother was featured in the HBO documentary entitled Black and Missing. This documentary is about how difficult it is to get authorities to take seriously the disappearance of racial minorities. He says, quote, "I just hope that this documentary gets out and people actually understand that when we call the authorities and say our loved one is missing, they take it seriously." That is the case of Pamela J. Butler that helped solve 2 cases, including her own murder. And I find her brother, his involvement in this case, so incredible. If you haven't watched that documentary, I highly recommend it. It's, I think it's sister-in-laws, I believe, who created this foundation called Black and Missing, and they do incredible work. You know, there's not enough coverage when it comes to Black, Indigenous people who go missing. And this case really pisses me off because this guy clearly was a jackass who did so many horrible things. And if this potentially was taken a different way, these women may have not lost their lives. Yep. So, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was a good whisper video. I think I'm gonna stick with the soft-spoken and maybe sprinkle in a whisper once in a while, but soft-spoken is